Hey folks, it's Greg. You're watching Greg's Country Cabin Outdoors. Hope you're having a great day. It's Friday. I'm off today because we've got some pretty foul weather coming in over the weekend. Temperatures are going to bottom out in the sub-zero Fahrenheit. So I got some badges made, stickers that I can put on my windows, on my canoe, on my kayak. And I was talking to the sign maker and I told him that I wanted to make a clock, and he said, oh, I can do that. So all I had to do was find a clock, and I went on Amazon, picked up a cheap one, and I mean, it's cheap. The face is printed cardboard, so he's going to make a sticker to put on that printed cardboard, and I'll have a clock with my colors, my logo, and the numbers are going to be Roman numerals. And anyway, he just called, said it's done. So I'm headed over there to pick it up, and after that I need to head out to my cabin and get some of my filming equipment, because I'm headed over to my brother-in-law John's. He's got a axe head that he wants a handle put on, and he thought that'd make a nice little video to make for my YouTube channel. So since we're looking at foul weather over the weekend, I thought today'd be a good day to go over there. He's retired, he doesn't have anything on the plate for today, so I'm going to head over there. But anyway, let's go over to the sign company and see what my clock looks like. Well, there it is. It's beautiful. And I got an extra face, so if I get another clock, I can put it on there. And they really upgraded the quality of this thing by putting that on there, because it was just a cardboard face, and this is a laminate plastic, so it'll last. Boy, am I pleased. An axe here that my brother-in-law John wants to put a handle on. And
Plum 3.
it's a plum what?
Plum 3.
Oh,
Plum 3.
3, 2.
2 means like double bit.
Okay. Yeah, it's a double blader. He's taken the time to clean it up, took the old handle out of it. But this handle here is too large, so we're going to have to do a little bit of carving on that to get it where we want it. And you'll be able to see right now that it will stick through a little ways, but we want it to stick through some, and we're going to end up putting a wedge in this groove in order to expand it so that it stays in place once we get it in there. So we'll get started grinding on this thing, get it carved down to size, see what we can come up with.
I'm going to stick this
I'll tell you a little bit about this particular axe head. You can see it curves more on this side than it does on this side. So this is the end that goes away from the handle. The handle goes in there like this. Now, you can't see down inside there to see it, but the way this thing is designed, or it's supposed to be designed, is up inside there, it has a little flute like that. And what you do when you drive this into that space, it gives this right here a place to spread out to hold that head in place. So once you get that head started, you tap it in gently, and this should be closed up completely tight by the time you get it all the way through where you want it. Then the wedge goes in, and that spreads that apart and tightens that inside there. And then you've got the smaller wedge that you can drive in to lock that in place. So let's get this thing on here. Okay, I got that carved down a little bit, so I'm going to try to put it on there again. Now, you can see I had it on there that far, so I'm going to try it again and see how far we can get this time. thing about these, you don't put them on and drive them on with a hammer. You put them on and then you tap them, the handle down on something solid. And the head should slide right down there eventually. It's going. It just hadn't convinced itself that it wants to go all the way on just yet. It's bouncing good. It's on there. Oh, that's how far it was on there actually. So it was on there quite a ways. It just didn't far enough. I want it all the way down. I want it seated. So if this sticks out the end of it, so when I put that wedge in there and drive it in tight, it flares out enough to hold it in place. So I've got to file some more off. Fortunately, I have access to some good quality tools. If I was doing this at home, it'd probably take me 2 days. But my brother-in-law, who doesn't want to be on camera, owns the shop and the tools, so I'm in good shape. I'm beating this against this board down here because this board is softer than the handle. If I beat that handle against the concrete, it would split it and make it worthless, and I didn't go to all that work to get that head that far on there for nothing. So this 2x is expendable. I haven't quite got it exactly seated where I want it, but I think that's far enough. Now I need to put that wedge in that little groove right there and spread that out. And you see there's a little bit of a gap right there. And there's a little bit over here. Mostly it's over here, but that will spread that out and wedge that in there so that it can't come out. There we go. Now, I've got this slot opened up a little bit, and I went and sharpened this edge off right here a little bit. So I should be able to drive that down in there and start spreading that enough to get it wedged down into the split. So we're going to try, see what happens. You know, the funny thing is, my brother-in-law asked me if I could put a new handle in the next, and I said yes I could. I didn't tell him this is the first one I've ever done. So we're finding out together whether or not I really can. And it looks like it's working. Yep, it's working perfectly. Just exactly the way I wanted it to. Point. I'll get over a little closer so you can see better. See there how it split that apart? Now we can just cut that off right there and it'll stay. And then we'll use the metal wedge down through the center hole to keep that in place. Stay tuned. Well, it's Sunday. We had that snow event that I was expecting, so I'm glad I went over and put that axe handle in John's axe head for him yesterday, or not yesterday but Friday. Yesterday was Saturday. So yeah, I pushed snow for about 7 hours, and it was down to -4 when I got up this morning. So I'm gonna head to the cabin and see if I can get out on the ice, do a little ice fishing. According to my car right now, it's 9 degrees. My car usually shows it a little warmer than it actually is. But hey, that's what it is. So I'm gonna head out to the shack and see if the ice is thick enough to walk on. If it is, then I'm going to the ice shack and I'm gonna see if I can do some fishing. I doubt if I'll catch anything, because in the wintertime I very seldom catch. I'm just a lousy ice fisherman. That's all there is to it. Life is good. Well, this is interesting. There's 3 inches of ice on the lake outside, and the water here had a skim coat of ice on it. Just a real thin one. It didn't take anything, just a bump with the auger to have clear water there. So I'm gonna try to fish. I was having problems with the buddy heater. It wasn't staying lit. It'd light up and go real good for a little bit, and then it'd fizzle out. And then the pilot light wouldn't even light. And then I finally got the pilot light lit, and I got it on low right now, and it spit and sputtered for a while, and the pilot light went out, so I turned it back to pilot real quick and got it lit again and put the low burner off. And it's burning right now. You can't see it in the video, but it's glowing red. But anyway, I think what happened is when I ran that gas line through the wall over there, I unhooked it from the tank, and I think it got some air inside of it. So I haven't used it since then, other than to light it originally, and it might have burnt most of the gas out at the time. But anyway, it's working fine now, and it's on low. It's comfortable in here, which is kind of surprising since it's 3 degrees outside. But it's not bad, really, for a plastic shed sitting out on the ice. It's not bad at all. Apparently in the wrong location because the fish are not biting at all. But hey, it's still fun. One of the things I wanted to do was bring my new clock out to the shack so that I have a timepiece out here. And so there it is. Got my logo, Roman numerals. That'll confuse the millennials. Looks to be about 5 minutes after, or 25 minutes after 1. So yeah, it's a great day. The view from the shack when the lake is completely frozen. And there's snow on the ground. And it's snowing right now. Ain't it beautiful? Ain't it beautiful? Well, I got it on high. As you can see, the pilot light is still burning, but you can't see the glowing red. Why, I don't know. This just not recording the red glow in there. But apparently it was just air in the line. I got it bled off. Everything seems to be working just fine. So yeah, it's warming up in here really nicely for being as cold as it is outside. One nice thing about being in an ice shack that you build that floats on the water all the time is when it freezes, it's still solid as if you were sitting on top of the ice. So, you know, you're not going to have that floating sensation until the spring thaw. But I'm looking forward to that too, because I'm looking forward to camping in here overnight after the thaw, doing a little fishing off of the dock out front, and maybe catch something. Right now, I'm not catching anything, not even a nibble, which really doesn't surprise me. I'm only in about 7 foot of water right here, and I'm sure the fish are out there where it's about 11 feet deep, but that's okay. It's still fun, having a good time. Well, I've been out here a little over an hour, and not even a nibble, but hey, I did get things a little better organized in here. Stuff underneath the cots, that's kind of a storage area. And I've got one of those high power magnets that I use to pull the pipes up out of the lake when they fell in. I've got a cooler down there. I've got food supply right there. I've got my 13-gallon, basically a tabletop for working. My cooksa, my gas stove and gas, coffee pot, cook pot, some plates or dishes, binoculars, fillet knife and scaler, crappie pole. The funny thing about that crappie pole is it's got a little plug right here on the end, and I've lost that plug twice. I lost it in my car once, and I managed to find it. And I came out here and I was walking down here to get into the boat to come over here to the shack, and it got lost again. And last weekend when I was out here getting things ready for my wife to come out and spend time with me, I found it. It was laying on the ground. Nice view. I love that view. It's just beautiful. So anyway, it's time for me to head home. I'm going to call it a day. I didn't have any luck at all. So, but that's all right. A bad day of fishing is still better than a good day at the office. If you like this little video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Make sure you click that bell icon to get notified whenever I put up a new video. Thanks for watching.